Hi everyone, Denise here. Just going to make my own melts that I used to purchase from other places, but realized that they have dyes and fragrance in them, and I guess I'd prefer my own fragrance and possibly get the benefits from it too, even though heating does destroy the benefits, but you never know. It might still have some of the benefits, and I'd rather smell the good scents. So the first thing I'm going to make here is going to be my melts. So it calls for, and I don't remember where I got my recipe from for this. It's 1 tablespoon of beeswax, and I went to my local honey farm and got my own beeswax, and they just gave this to me. I didn't even have to pay for it. It's just broken up pieces of wax from the bees, and then it also calls for 5 tablespoons of coconut oil. So I'm going to measure this stuff out, and then I'm going to melt it in my microwave. I know microwaves aren't all that good for you, but I'm going to get another spoon here. And you can adjust this for a little bit of thickness if you so desired, and I hope this isn't too loud for you. So I'm going to go melt this over in the microwave first, and then I'm going to measure out the tablespoon of beeswax after I get that melted too. So just easier that way. So, learning a little bit about essential oils, I found out that dyes in the melts that I used to purchase are not good for you. It's the first thing you want to make sure that there are no dyes or synthetics. And when they say fragrance on their ingredients list, you really don't know what or how they make their fragrance. I prefer the all natural fragrance that Young Living has, I should say, because they're made just with the plants. There, that's a little bit better. So they're made with the plants from the leaves or the stems, the flowers, and so you know that you're getting 100% pure therapeutic grade, even though heating it up does kind of destroy that. So I'm going to just pause you here a minute while we melt this beeswax, because that could take a while. Okay, so I reverted to doing a double boiler kind of melt and put my jar of wax over the top of boiling water, and I will measure out my 1 tablespoon over at the table. Okay, hold on, be right back. Okay, so this melted and took about 2 minutes to get me a little consistency like this. So I'm going to go with 1 tablespoon of the beeswax, and it's going to harden pretty quick. So then I'm going to go with my 5 tablespoons of coconut oil. And we're going to add about 30 drops. And I'm using orange because I like the smell of orange. And I'm going to have to melt this again because it's already hardening and I can't pour it into the molds. So once you get everything melted and mixed together, it takes about 3 minutes or so to melt everything. And then you can measure it out and melt it again. So it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to make my own melts at home using my orange essential oil, because I love the smell of orange. You can't smell orange and really not be happy. So all right, so that made me about 8 of these small size melts, about the same size. I don't know if you can see. Turn this around here. You can see that or not. There's about 8 in this little tiny small ice cube tray. So that is how I make my melts. And then once they start to harden a little bit, I actually put a toothpick in them, and that way you can take them out of the trays a little bit better and put them in your plug-in or any kind of warmer that you have that takes your own melts. All right, and next I will be making toilet cleaning fizzies. So let me gather the ingredients and I'll be right back. Okay, I have all the ingredients now for my toilet cleaning fizzies. Another DIY that I do around the house. For this you'll need baking soda. 2 cups is what I'm going to be using. And you'll need the citric acid. I can get these right at Walmart. And you'll need 2/3 cup of citric acid and approximately 30 drops of essential oil. And again, I like orange, so I'm going to be going with orange oil. And I just mix all this together. It actually says that you should be using you'll also need some spritzing water to firm it up a little bit. So let's go with our 2 cups of baking soda. Use this in a glass bowl is easier. And it does say that you should wear a mask and gloves for this. And I believe that's for the citric acid that you're going to be using. Personally, I have not used it and didn't think I needed it. I use a plastic, this is a 1/3 cup measuring, so I'm going to go with 2/3 of citric acid. And I use a plastic spoon here to do all the mixing. It says a misting spray bottle with just water, or you can even use vanilla extract. You mix the baking soda and the citric acid in a glass bowl. Like I said, it suggests wearing a mask and latex gloves for this to protect your skin and eyes. After I'm done with it, I usually just put lavender on my hands. And then you slowly mist it with water as you go. You barely want to wet the powder to get it to stick together in the bowl. So this I actually put into my toilet bowl at nighttime right before I go to bed, so it works overnight. And it does a soft cleaning of your toilet bowl the natural way. You can use any of the essential oils that you want for scent. You don't even have to use a scent if you really don't want to. I mean, like I said, it's just to clean your toilet bowl. Lemon works good. Nice disinfectant and lemon oil. I believe most of the citrus oils are a good disinfectant kind of agent to them. And you can do it during the day too, just to clean them up. Saves me money in the store too, making my own. been a while since I've made these, so I really don't know how long it really takes, how much water. Just keep on misting, get it so that you can form it into the ice cube trays that I use. And then after I'm done forming them into the trays, and take about a day to harden. I usually harden them up overnight, and then I'll pop them out and put them in a nice glass container right on my toilet tank. Kind of makes for conversation too. If anybody asks, what are those? And, oh, it's just my toilet bowl cleaner that I make myself. I love my essential oils, and I only get them from Young Living because I do know, have been to their farms, able to see exactly how they're made. When any company calls them just fragrance, you really don't know what's in it. How they make their fragrance. There are actually different grades of essential oils, from therapeutic to just your fragrance. It's getting there. Almost time to put it into the molds here. And like I said, you can either use just plain water, or you can even use vanilla extract. That's what you like. It'll smell that way, or something to get it so that you can mold it into the molds. This here was about 2/3 full, and I'm now about a half a spray bottle that I've been using so far.